Hello there. I'm making a new video on my Samsung Z Fold 7, the phone I bought yesterday, using the front-facing camera, Pro Video mode, default settings. Just gonna see what kind of video I get. Yeah, no, yeah. What am I here to talk about? All right, yeah. Good question. I just got out of the shower and I haven't had my cigarette yet. So what happened to me yesterday? Well, I got home about 6 o'clock, and I was like, I really should go to bed. I really should go to bed. Strangely, I didn't go to bed till 1 in the morning. But I'll tell you about that later. Perhaps. Yeah. So it's really interesting. I was watching Paul from Dove and Serpent Tarot. I watched a couple of his readings today, the Cancer reading and the Scorpio reading. And the Cancer reading, there were a lot of cups cards. So I can't remember what there was, but it was lots of cups. So water, 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 water. Well, that's the thing, my car got washed yesterday. And it hadn't been washed in a long, long time. It had it was very dirty. It's a very dirty car. So I got it washed. Yeah. And I got it washed by Jaguar Land Rover. They're the ones who washed it. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with the clean, but it's one of those things. It's like really, yeah. I mean, it's finding. I want to I want to find someone who'll clean the car, but yeah, how do I want to get it cleaned? I suppose that's the thing that I need to figure out. I don't. I don't want to have a car covered in swirl marks. Really, but at the same time, I kind of don't care. I don't know. I mean, maybe I've got better things to worry about. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, it's a fast car. I enjoy driving it. And it looks fine. I'm happy. It's costing me a lot of money, though. It's costing me a lot of money. I mean, I paid, well, the price for it when I bought it was about £104,000. Although the dealership that I bought it from, they were just doing some dumb shit when I bought it, basically. Typical, but whatever. Trying to they basically gave me a bunch of add-ons that I didn't really need or want. And they sort of chucked that in with the price or whatever, but whatever. Yeah. Yeah, so it's interesting. Yeah, so I've driven that car slightly over 2,600 miles now, because obviously I drove home from the dealership when I had 2,600 miles on it, and I paid my road tax yesterday, £640. So I've paid that for at least 3 years, because the first year was free. I've already paid for my insurance. It renewed itself. That was over £1,000. In fact, well, the first year I got it, it was about £1,000. The second year I had it, the second year I had it, the second year I had it, it the insurance price had basically doubled for some reason. It was all over the news as well, like people complaining about the fact that insurance just like I mean, it was just like skyrocketing and stuff. Um, well, yeah, it went up. It like basically doubled for a year, and then it went back again. So last year I paid about 1,000, and this year I've paid about 1,000. So I've paid though, yeah. What else? I paid about 1,000 when I had my car serviced yesterday. I've got to extend the warranty, and the last time I did that, that was about £1,000. Um, what else? Um, I need to get some new tires for it. I don't even know how much that's going to cost. Um, and I mean, I have to replace those tires because of how old they are. Not because they're worn down, but because um, rubber expires. Yeah, so I've got to do that. Um, so it's a lot of money. An interesting thing. So I don't know if you noticed, but I posted a picture on Facebook probably a month or two ago. There was a black Audi, an Audi TT, that was parking behind my car in the shared car park where my garage is. Um, yeah, I mean, I never knew who the owner was. Had no idea. All I knew there was a car that was being parked there. And when I came back yesterday, I noticed that um, that car was being washed by a guy, and I saw him, and yeah, I assume he's the owner of the car. That's what I'm told. Um, uh, Big white guy. Um, yeah, it's very interesting how he decided to wash his car the very same day I got my car washed. And, the last time I got my car washed before yesterday was, well, would have been last year sometime, probably. I mean, that's how long ago I got that car washed. I mean, I do sometimes take it in for a jet wash. So I'll take it to a jet washer, and I'll just rinse it down with cold water just to blast off any you know just to get rid of the worst of it, basically. Yeah. Anyway, so this is the thing, right? Why do people do these sort of things? Why would the guy want to wash his car on the same day my car's getting washed? Why? Is that magic? Is that a magic thing that he did? Hmm. Well, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just pointing it out. Anyways, moving on. Uh, my new phone. I'm really impressed with the sound quality on it. I put I played some drum and bass music on it, and I turned the volume almost all the way up, and do you know what I mean? It's like I can actually hear the bass in the music. It's really impressive for such a compact fold phone. Um, I heard that the I heard the Z Fold 6 has a better sound. The inbuilt speaker's actually better on that one, but obviously I'm upgrading from the Z Fold 4, and that was a very tinny sounding experience. Anyways. So, what else did I want to talk about? So, I noticed on Paul's Scorpio reading, yeah, the Two of Swords card came out. miraculously came out. Yeah, the Two of Swords. Yeah, I noticed. Well, it was the Two of Swords in reverse, and the thing is, Paul doesn't usually do reverse cards. Although I think it was on his latest Taurus reading, there was a Two of Swords in that one, which was the bonus card, the Rider-Waite card that he used. You know, he puts the bonus card and then he puts his little Paul keyring thing on top of it. You know, being a magic maker. You know, you know, when I looked at the beginning of the Scorpio reading, I noticed, you know, well, he had his deck the opposite way round to how he would normally hold it. Now, this requires a bit more explaining because you see, Paul, how he normally holds his tarot deck, he always holds it upside down. When he's shuffling it, he has it facing away from him, as as opposed to facing towards him. And you know, over the past year or two, whenever I've watched his readings, I've always thought to myself, why does he hold the deck that way? Why does he always hold it facing away from him? And you can tell because on the back of his deck, which is the Thoth deck, it has a Rosicrucian cross. And so when he holds it in his hands, it's upside down. And you know, I was questioning. You know, it was probably months and months ago. I don't know, 4 months ago, something like that. I was questioning. I was like, so why does he do that? Why does he do that? And at the time, I think I was shuffling the Hermetic Tarot deck, and I was shuffling that. And what? Yeah, no. What happened was, I think I was holding the Hermetic Tarot deck. I was holding it upside down by accident. And I shuffled it, and then the Hanged Man card came out upside. You know, so he was upright, as opposed to being upside down. And I was like, oh. And then I had this, this moment. It's like, oh right, yeah, because, well, that's the thing. I was Jesus Christ, and obviously, I was crucified, and I was, I was upright when I was crucified. I wasn't upside down. And so that's the thing, right? I mean, the major arcana is, there's 22 cards, but if you get rid of the Fool card, then it's only 21. And obviously the opposite of 21 is, well, if you turn those numbers around, you get 12. And that's the Hanged Man, and he's upside down. And also, that's associated with Pisces, and it's associated with the moon as well, which is the moon is reverse. It's reverse. There's all this weird magic. Obviously reverse. I mean, if you look at the word rivers, rivers is in, like, where water flows. You could pronounce rivers as reverse, couldn't you? You could. So, rivers and reverse, are they the same? Well, obviously there's a magical connection between reverse and rivers. And the thing is, obviously a lot of tarot readers like to do reverse cards. Which I generally avoid. Yeah, I generally avoid them. I have done them, but I tend not to do them. I find they create more confusion than anything else. And the fact is that so many people do these readings with reversals, and they're like, oh, look, the Knight of Wands in reverse, or the Knight of Cups in reverse, or the Moon in reverse, or the Tower in reverse. I mean, what does that mean? The Tower in reverse, or do you know what I mean? Like, because people do all this sex magic and sodomy, right? Well, that is a big part of the reverse cards, right? So you don't know, because obviously you can, most people look at the reverse cards and they interpret it as being like the opposite of the upright meaning, or sort of like a worse interpretation of the upright card or something. Um, but they always seem to, they never go, oh right, yeah, someone's being sodomized. You never hear, oh right, someone's doing sex magic. That's what that is. Okay, you know what I mean. That bit always gets left out, doesn't it? Anyways, so that's why I don't use reversals usually. I don't think it's really required, to be honest. But yeah. Anyways, whatever. Um. So what I was saying about Paul and his Scorpio reading was that when his very first card that he shuffled from the deck, he got the Two of Swords in reverse. And so, when he was shuffling the deck, he had it the opposite way round to how he normally holds it. So you see what he does. You see, normally he holds the deck in his hand upside down. But when he takes the card out of the deck, when he takes the card off the deck, he turns it around every single time. And when he did if you look at the beginning of his Scorpio reading, you'll notice he's holding the deck upright instead of the way he usually holds it, but he still turns the card around, and he got a Two of Swords in reverse. And obviously, when he did he has one side, the left side, he calls that the dove side, and on the right side, he has the serpent side. And the very first, so when he did the Path of the Serpent, the first card that came out was Adjustment, which, see, the Adjustment card in the Thoth deck is, people consider that to be equivalent to the Justice card in the Rider-Waite Tarot. Although, obviously, Justice and Adjustment, how you could say those are really the same thing doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. But, at the end of the day, people like to do magic to get away with things they're not supposed to get away with. I mean, that's the entire point of them doing what they do, right? It's not about getting justice, it's about getting away with injustice. That's really, what people try to do. But anyways. Yeah. And the thing is, Paul doing that, it seems to me like he intentionally did what he did. Yeah, I'm not sure how he did it. Because, I mean, I watched him shuffle the deck, and I'm thinking, well, how would he have picked the Two of Swords out of that deck? I mean, either it came out, maybe that was, but, there was, yeah, I don't know how he would have done that, but, I can't see how he managed to pull that card out of the deck intentionally, but perhaps that he did. But I've noticed, some tarot readers, I've seen Moonlight Guidance, I've seen her fiddle around with cards. She'll, shuffle a load of cards, because she, the way she shuffles, she lets, she basically shuffles, and all these cards fly all over the place, and they just fall on the table, which you can't see the table. You never see you never see what's on the table that all the cards fall on, right? So, she's got these cards falling all over the place. And then, a card will, it'll go one way. I've seen times where, one card will fly out, and it lands on one, it goes in one direction, and then she picks up a card from a different direction. She's like, oh, look, this is the card that fell out of the deck. It's like, well, how can that be? Because the card isn't even on that, you know what I mean? It looked fake. It looked like you just simply had a card on the desk, so you could pretend that's the card that fell out of the deck. People do this kind of crap. They think they can just pretend that, because they don't get the cards that they like. They're like, well, I can just hand pick a card here and hand pick a card there, and then that makes my job easier. And I can try to manifest what I want. Screw what Spirit wants to say. I'll just hand pick some cards, and I'll do it that way. People do that. People do try to do that. Yeah. I do notice. And if people are going to try to do that with me, well, don't even waste my time. I'm not gonna waste my time on you. Quite honestly, if I think you're doing that, if I think that's what you're trying to do, then, yeah, I'm not gonna waste my time. Okay. So, I don't mind people doing. I don't. Well, it's best not to do reversals, but if people do reversals, I mean, it's about, obviously how you interpret it. If you actually know what it means, if you actually understand what it really means, that sort of eliminates some of the problem that it creates. But generally I just skip. Personally, it's like, well, reversals are just, they create more problems than it creates more confusion. And people, a lot of tarot readers like to do that. They like to, they don't know, I mean, they couldn't even interpret the cards if the cards were upright, and then they want to start doing everything in reverse. And then, what does their sex life look like? Oh, right, probably doing sodomy as well, probably. Bit of sex magic, and oh, it's in reverse. Oh, someone's in reverse. Oh, what's that mean then? Do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, that's the thing, right? I'm the King of Swords, I'm the King of Cups, but sometimes I want to be in reverse, right? Like if I'm with a woman that I want to get in reverse with her, you know what I'm saying? And then the card would be like, oh, King of Swords in reverse, oh, King of Cups in reverse. Do you understand? But then people will interpret that in the way that they interpret it, and it's like, oh, okay. Do you know what I mean? Like, well, people will get it wrong. What's a King of Swords in reverse? I mean, you could say a King of Swords in reverse is basically a Page of Swords. Do you know what I mean? Like, you could say or something like, I mean, you could. It just depends how you interpret it. There are many different ways to interpret cards that have no solid interpretation. Do you know what I mean? They don't. There tend to be multiple interpretations. So, yeah. We want to remove confusion. We want to remove confusion. I want to remove confusion. I don't want a world of crazy, confused people, thinking all these stupid things that are false. Yeah. Anyways, So what did I want to talk about? Um, yeah, I don't know actually. Oh, I'm a bit sunburnt. Yeah, I don't know if you can really see, but yeah, when I look in the mirror, I'm quite red on my head. I don't think the camera really shows how red I am, but I am. My arms are quite red. Yeah, I think the camera just doesn't really show it very well. I probably need to switch another light on, but I can't be bothered. Um, yeah, my legs are sore, and um, yeah, yeah, my skin's a bit sore. I should have put a hat on, really. In fact, I should have bought a new hat yesterday. But I didn't have time. Um, I probably walked, I don't know, probably about a kilometer yesterday. And today, I mean, I'm struggling to walk. I mean, seriously, like just getting up and down the stairs. My legs hurt. I mean, it should be surprising. I mean, I've basically, I haven't gone for a long walk in years. I've spent most of the time in the house. You know, trying to, trying. Well, I've been doing what I've been doing. If you've been following me, you'd know what I've been doing. Basically. Yeah. So I need to get out more. I need to walk more. And I need to make sure I don't get sunburnt. Yeah, I'm not a fan of getting sunburnt. Actually, there was been a couple times in my life when I got some really bad sunburn. There was a time when I was a kid. I went to a place called Guernsey. Um, I had yeah, I went there on a family holiday. I had an aunt, an uncle. Well, I had an aunt, and she was married to a man called Barry, who was my uncle-in-law. They lived in Guernsey for a while. It's part of the Channel Islands. It's sort of like, I don't know. It's near France, isn't it? It's near France. Um, and I got properly sunburnt one day. I think it was the first day I was on. It was literally like the first day we went there, and we were on the beach, and actually my cousins got sunburnt as well. Um, and my back got really sunburnt. And I had, literally like I could literally pull a sheet of skin off my back. It was literally like I was just like pulling off like massive chunks of, you I could literally just peel off like dead skin off my back, just like big bits of skin off my back, and yeah. And so I spent most of that holiday just having aloe vera after sun applied to my back, and I had the chills as well. I was getting like I literally at night time I was getting the chills, and I was in a cold sweat. Um, that was very unpleasant. And there was one time in my 20s. I think it was in my 20s. It was probably in my early 20s, I think, or when I was a teenager. Um, I was with some friends, and we were on Brighton Beach, and we'd been up all night partying, or we'd been up all night just getting wasted or whatever. And we were like, yeah, let's go down the beach. It's like a nice sunny day. So we went down the beach in the morning, and we went down there, and we fell asleep on the beach. And that day, I basically I rolled up my trouser legs, and I fell asleep face down on the beach. Um, and then when we woke up later in the afternoon, we'd all been, well, two of us had been quite badly sunburned. One of the guys that was with us was Liam, and he's a black guy. He's black. Well, he's mixed race, but yeah, obviously he wasn't as affected as me. And a guy I used to be friends with, a guy called Joe. He got sunburned, Yeah. Mine was really bad 'cause the back of my legs, I actually had to go to hospital. um, my what happened was, yeah, so yeah, because that's the crazy thing. Because that day, after we woke up, we woke up on the beach and we were like, oh man, it's ow, we just like, oh shit, I think we got sunburned. And it's like, okay, so what are we gonna do? So we went off to get drunk, and then we went to a club that night as well. We went to a reggae night at some club. I can't even remember. So we were in there, and I was like, oh man, I gotta go home. I gotta go home. And I remember just getting home, opening the front door, and just like falling on the floor as soon as I got home. And yeah, like in the days after that, I was walking around in flip flops with shorts on, and the back of my legs were purple. It was like a dark purple color, like a really dark. It was really badly sunburned, and my feet were swelling up. I had swollen feet. Now I remember I was walking down this. I was on one of like the high streets, so I was walking down this hill, down this street in the middle of Brighton, and there was these like people who were up the hill, probably like, I don't know, at least 50 meters behind me, you know, up the hill, and they were pointing and laughing at my tan line on the back of my legs, like like, yeah, yeah. And I remember I went to the arcade, and there was a guy there, and he was talking about the back of my legs, and Liam, he thought it was really funny how, yeah, yeah. So I ended up having to go to hospital because the sunburn was so bad, and they had to give me like anti-inflammatory. Um, they gave me like steroidal cream to put on it and stuff like that, and I think I had that tan line for a couple of years on the back of my legs. I think you said it was like they were like basically like, was it second degree? So they were like basically almost second degree burns on the back of my legs. Yeah, ow. It's really strange though, because I could go somewhere like Guernsey, get really sunburnt. Um, I mean that day I wasn't actually wearing any sun cream. Um, I don't like using it. I don't like using it very often. Um, but I remember, when I went to Florida when I was a kid. I don't remember using any sun cream when I was in Siesta Keys and on the beach every day. I mean, I just turned brown. I didn't get sunburnt. I don't really understand. Like some places, I will get sunburnt really easily, and some places I can just go out in the sun and it doesn't really bother me for some reason. I don't know why. But anyways, I need to get used to the sun. Um, I really need to get used to it. I need to let my skin tan. Yeah, I need to work on my tan properly. Yeah. I mean, if I had friends, people I actually wanted to hang out with, I would probably, I would be getting a tan. I'd probably be outside more. Hang on, I need to sit up. Hang on, give me a sec. So yeah, I mean, I'm making a video. I'm waffling, just letting you know what I've been up to, what I'm doing. Nothing particularly interesting, but although last night um, what did I do last night? Well, uh, yeah, I have to be kind of discreet about this. Yeah. But I kind of want it. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I remember I was in the shower and I kind of just thought to myself, like, explaining it. I thought, should I explain it? I mean, it's kind of, it's yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. Well, what I did last night. So this is the thing. When I'm very tired, I tend to get a bit horny. So when I came, when I when I came home last night, I decided just to sit and watch videos. Um, yeah, I was watching videos for hours. Um, and you know how I explained Aaliyah Dana Houghton, she's on top of me, right? Her ghost is on top of me. And so yeah, it's one of those. How does that work? So obviously I explained that before. How does that work? Well, if I shift my focus downwards, and focus on what's happening, then I start to feel sensations. Um, um, and basically, it's yeah, and yeah, it's strange because like I can, I can focus my attention from um yeah, I can make it's like, yeah, I don't know, it's like almost like I can move around with my mind a bit. It's a strange thing. Yeah, I don't really know how to explain it, but yeah. So what I was trying to do last night was I was just because I've only ever um how do I explain this? I've only yeah, well, yeah, because Michael, he's behind me, so he's doing stuff to me while she's doing stuff to me. Um, and there's only one time I remember I actually finished, if you know what I'm saying, without actually having to do it myself. Um, yeah. So basically, what I was doing last night, I was trying to yeah, I was trying to get her to finish me off. um, yeah. So yeah, I just want to practice it basically. I just want to get to the point where it's like, okay, I can chill out for an hour and let her do the work and have a good time. The thing is, I mean, she keeps me going. And actually, yeah, I mean, we got close. We got close last night, but not quite there. Not quite. Yeah. It's interesting though, isn't it? Because, people talk about the second coming of Jesus Christ. And, and obviously, like I've explained, it's happened once. And I'm still waiting for the second time to happen. So, yeah, I'm trying to focus. Yeah, I don't know what I guess probably, yeah, if I find some time tonight, that's basically what I'm going to do. Have some fun, relax. I got a subscription to Evil Angel. Yeah. About a week ago. Yeah, I got a yearly subscription, so I might as well use it. Yeah. Yup. Yup, yup, yup. Yeah. Why did I explain that? Well, why not? I mean, it obviously my story is, well, obviously, like I've explained, I've got spirits around me, who do things to me. Yeah, and it's it's a strange thing to have to explain it, but why not? You know what I mean? Like, there probably aren't many people who could tell you the experiences that I have. I have a very unique experience. Yeah. Yep. So, is there anything else I'd like to talk about? Maybe. Hang on a sec. So yeah, yeah, it's quite an interesting thing that I can. Yeah. What else can I talk about? There must be something else. I'm still kind of tired after yesterday. I mean, I slept 10 hours. I woke up. I got out of bed at lunch. At 12 o'clock, just after 12 o'clock. So at noon. And yeah, I still feel, yeah, a bit depleted after yesterday. Yeah. So I'm chilling out today, and I'm chilling out tomorrow. Not gonna do anything too stressful. I have a couple of things I've got to sort out. Got some bills to pay and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. I had a quick browse of the YouTube channel Chosen 144, Salvatore, that guy, the Australian guy. He has. Do you know what I mean? He's got like some video title. I mean, I don't know if it's directed at me or not. I assume it probably is. And he's like saying, "Oh, someone who's pretending that it's like someone pretending to be rich," and then he puts like an emoji of a car, and then basically and he says spending money they don't have yet. So well, my situation is, I got this inheritance. I got the money. That's the thing. I was given a bunch of money. I bought my car with cash. I paid £87,000, and I traded in an Audi S3 car, which I was given about £17,000 for. So I didn't take a finance offer on my car. It's all paid for. I didn't want to do a finance thing. It's like I bought my phone yesterday. I bought my phone. I could get a new contract. I could get it on finance. But no, I'd rather just pay for it up front. I'm not interested in being associated with, all these credit people. I mean, that's the thing. What does credit mean? If someone is credible, that means they're believable, right? So if I've got credit cards and credit this and credit that, well, do you know what I mean? All it is it's bullshit magic, is what it is. That's all it amounts to. Ooh, how's your credit rating? Oh, you got a good credit rating. Oh, that means you must speak the truth then. Oh, okay then. No, that's total horse shit, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? That is total garbage. But people, demons want to play these stupid games, obviously. They'll just sit and talk shit all day long. And, they don't care what they talk about. The only thing they care about is trying to acquire power. That's all they're interested in. Acquiring manifestation power through any means. Talking all kinds of crap. Yeah. And that's gonna land them in jail, right? That's where they're gonna go. Jesus said, those who lead others into captivity will find themselves going into captivity, right? So that is basically, you know what I mean? Like, if you're going to try to ruin my life, if you think you can talk a load of rubbish about God's life, and use that, and that causes God to feel like he's being imprisoned. I mean, that's based. People want to say all kinds of lies about me, and try to trap me with all their stupid stories. And well, if they're gonna if they think they can ruin my life and cause me to lose things that belong to me or anything like that, it's basically it's theft. It's trying to steal from me, and it's trying to ruin my reputation. It's trying to keep me stuck and wasting my precious time. Well, don't be surprised if you do that, you'll end up in prison or worse. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, is there anything else? I mean, I don't really need to. Yeah, I mean, the video. I don't need to make a super long video or anything like that. I have to say this phone, because it's it's a lighter weight phone than my previous phone, so it's a lot easier to carry around and do videos with. The Fold 4 was definitely a bit on the heavy side, and it was very bulky in my pocket as well. It's not much fun. I mean, like walking around with jeans on and sticking a Fold 4 in my jean pockets and having, on a hot day, do you know what I mean? It's just gonna get sweaty. Yeah. Yeah, I need to get a case for my phone, so I need to look at some reviews. Yeah, I'll try to get something good. Yeah. I mean, I like how slim the phone is, so I don't want to make it too bulky. But it needs to have, it needs to be protective enough and to, yeah, hopefully have a stand on it as well. So, it makes it, it's useful for watching videos on, if, you know what I mean, like I can put it down on a desk. Sort of thing. Blardy blur. So, yeah. Anything else I'd like to mention? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think Aaliyah wants me to go. I think she wants me to go watch some videos. Yeah. So, is there anything else I'd like to mention before I go? Yeah, it's almost 9 o'clock. It's getting a bit late. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry this isn't a better video, but I'm doing the best I can. And I know maybe what I'm talking about might seem a bit outrageous, but no, I just thought it was worth mentioning, really. Yeah, I mean, all I'm doing is shining a light on what it is that I'm doing, and that's it. I'm having some fun. And it's interesting, what Paul was talking about in, I think it was the Scorpio. I don't know, was it the Cancer reading? Maybe it was the Cancer reading. I don't remember. Yeah, I think it was the Cancer reading. And he was talking about habits. And he was talking about how, doing things consciously and how, repeating that thing intentionally and then causing it to become habitual, basically, or, it becomes habit. And, it filters down to the subconscious mind. And he was talking about that. So, at the time when he was saying that, I was thinking, you know what? Yeah, maybe I should just keep doing what I was doing last night. Yeah. Don't know. I kind of just thought maybe that's what I'm supposed to do. Yeah. Yeah. Because it's a strange thing. Because for the last couple of years, sometimes I watch adult content, and and then sometimes I'll go a year without watching any. So, yeah, it's yeah. I mean, I just do what I think I'm supposed to do. So that's that. Yeah. So, anyways, I'm gonna go have some fun, and I don't know. Maybe later on I'll be posting on Facebook. Maybe after midnight or something. So, give myself 3 hours. Yeah. So, and then maybe tomorrow I'll make another video. If I have time. Okay.